Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be making a Connecticut lobster roll and a Chipotle lobster roll. This one was delicious. Okay, so today, as you know, it's starting to become spring. Weather's getting warmer. Summer's soon approaching. So I am going to be making a lobster roll. It's gonna be so good, guys. So to get started, here I have 4 small lobster tails. Just about small, very generous. They're all clean and ready to go. And so I'm just going to go ahead and just put these to the side, these 2. And I'm just going to cut these up like so. You need nice chunks to get a nice, delicious roll and make it nice and meaty. You could split it down the middle like I'm doing. If you don't want to split it down the middle, you could leave it like that. But just because I'm gonna be making 4 lobster rolls, I'm trying to get as much out of my lobsters as possible. And lobsters are very expensive, so you gotta make do and work. So I'm gonna be making a Connecticut lobster roll with just butter, and then I'm gonna be making a very unconventional lobster roll. One with mayo and some other sauce. Of course, I'll put it in the description as I go along. I'm trying to decide between sriracha and Chipotle. But I feel like sriracha is just so much of a norm lately that for me, I like to just think outside the box. Something more of a Chipotle lobster roll. And it's gonna be delish. So we're just doing a regular butter and we're doing a Chipotle. So I'm gonna take about half of this and do 2 separate batches of lobster rolls, and then I will be right back. I'm gonna cut my veggies up and show it to you guys and get started on the roll. Okay guys, so here I have my pot, and now I am gonna add just about 4 tablespoons of butter. I am using Kerrygold. I'm not sure. Okay, so after about 7 minutes, I am going to now remove my lobster. And I'm just gonna get my, I'm gonna need a towel for this. I'm gonna remove my lobster and put it in my bowl. And I'm gonna come back and I'm just gonna add some of my celery back to this. I'm gonna add some celery, more of my celery to that oil. And I'm just gonna let it saute for about, say, 5 minutes. So it could be nice and caramelized, right? Just in the butter, because I'm gonna make that Chipotle mayo sauce for this one, because like I said, it's a bit unconventional. And once this becomes nice and translucent, I have it on low. I'm not gonna use the oil, so you don't have to worry about if the oil gets brown or not at that stage. This is just to like get my celery nice and soft. Not too soft, but not too hard either. Just nice and sauteed. And then we're gonna go and put them in the sauce, and I will make the sauce for my Chipotle mayo. And I'm gonna also come back and do my regular lobster tail, the Connecticut lobster roll. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so my celery are done. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in my bowl and get them started for my Chipotle mayo sauce. And I will be right back. Okay, so here I have my pan. And it's been on the stove for about 2 to 3 minutes. And to that, I am going to add just about 3.5 tablespoons of butter. I am using Kerrygold butter for my lobster rolls. To me, it's the best butter. I'm just going to turn my heat up just a tad so my butter could melt. You don't want to turn the stove up too high. You just want to turn it up just enough so that the butter could melt without burning. So I'll say low to medium and not medium to high. And you just let it melt really well. I have some chopped diced garlic that I diced up really nicely in my food processor, and I'm just gonna add it to that. Just about a half teaspoon, of garlic, minced garlic. You don't need too much, just enough to do its thing. If you have that squeezable one, it's fine, but I prefer fresh garlic just because it does a better job. I'm gonna also just add just 1 tablespoon of butter, just an extra tablespoon. Just because for my lobster roll, I want it to be nice and have just a lot of oily flavor. So all that oil could be soaked up in the lobster meat. And I'm gonna let this garlic cook in for just about, say, 1 minute or 2 the max. And I will be right back. So as you can see, I went ahead and I added some of my chopped celery leaves because I don't want a lot of celery in that roll. I use the leaf pieces. And I'm gonna come and I'm gonna add some more butter. So altogether, I'm just using about 6 tablespoons of butter, to be quite frank. I know it may seem like a lot of butter, but this is how you do lobster roll. Unless you want to do it like very unconventional, but typically this is how you will do a lobster roll. And all this butter, and lobster roll is just pretty much lobster and butter and like whatever ends you choose to put inside of it, like celery, chives, dill, etc. So I'm just gonna let this get nice and translucent with my garlic. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add my bits of lobster to this. And for this one, I am going to also put some Old Bay. Old Bay makes everything better, guys, I promise you. And I'm gonna just mix it around. This is just about, say, a half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of Old Bay. You obviously can taste it as you go along. And to that, I'm also gonna put just about a half of a teaspoon of tropical sazon to this. And I'm just gonna toss it around. And also my butter is not, my butter isn't salt, so it's also seasoning my butter as well. Oh, this is gonna be so delicious, guys. Oh man. I cannot wait. I'm gonna put some celery in here just to give it a nice little crunch. And guys, you could put whatever you choose inside of your lobster rolls. You definitely don't have to be conventional. Just like I said, I'm gonna do a chipotle one and just a regular. I'm gonna cut a lemon and just squeeze it in there like so. Just about half of a lemon, and you just squeeze that in there. Oh man, this is gonna be so good. Look at that. Ooh, so pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and do just a half a teaspoon of fresh dill and a half a teaspoon of fresh chives. Just like that. Give it, you know, some nice green. Woo! Baby, look at that. Guess what? I'm gonna turn this off because I don't want it to overcook and I don't want my green to overcook either. Just to give it that nice pretty color, and bam, we're done. We're done. I'm gonna come back, toast my rolls, put this in a bowl, and get my lobster rolls started. Gee, isn't that pretty, guys? Look at that. Amazing. Look at that. That is some beautiful, beautiful pieces of lobster. So here I have a half a tablespoon of butter. And this is for me to just toast up my rolls. You don't need too much butter. You just need just about a half a tablespoon of butter. I'm gonna go ahead. I have the rolls that slit down the middle, if you can see it. Sorry. I'm very terrible at angles, but you get the picture. So I'm gonna put this like so on my pan. Just gonna do the same thing for the other one. And I'm just gonna toast it up really nicely. And then I'll toast the bottom for about until it gets nice and crispy at the bottom. So I'll say about 1 to 2 minutes each. I'm gonna turn my stove up just a tad. And I'm gonna flip this over. Well, actually, I'm gonna leave it because it's not crispy as I want it to be just yet. So I'm gonna give it about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, watching it occasionally, and then I'll flip it. I'll be ready. Okay, so here's my bread. I'm just gonna flip these over. They're nice and toasted. I'm just gonna flip this over for about 1 minute so that the inside could get some even heat. Literally just like that. Leave it down. I don't want it to get too toasted at the top because I still want it to have like that nice glistening look. So that's about it. We're done, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start these bad boys up. Okay, so guys, here I have my celery that I sauteed in my butter, and to that I'm gonna add some lemon, a half of a lemon juice. Boop. Just about so. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna also add some lemon zest to this. Get my lemon nice and clean. And I'm gonna add my lemon zest to that. And you just zest your lemon. Just so you get the yellow of the zest in the sauce. You don't need the white of the lemon because that's the bitter part. You just need the yellow, just the zest. And that's the good stuff. It's gonna give it so much flavor. Oh my goodness. Guys, I cannot wait. Sorry for like doing that, but I think I need a new zester. This one seems pretty dull, but hey, it's what I got for now, so it's gonna have to work. I guess I used it too many times. So now it's time for an upgrade. But as long as you can see the lemon zest in it, it should be good enough. Just try to avoid the white pieces. Once you get to like the core of the white part of the lemon, you don't need that. So I think that should be enough. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add just a spoonful of mayo. I'll say just about a half of a spoonful, just that much, just a little bit. And you don't want too much mayo in your liquid here, because it's gonna be too creamy and then it won't be as delicious. You just want enough to toss. That was some chives. No, some dill actually, sorry. And now this is chives that I'm adding in here. And now I am going to add just about a half of a tablespoon. Oop. I cannot get my Chipotle open. Just great. I have some Chipotle here, that one. You could use whichever one you like. The ones in the can is fine. Oh my goodness. Guys, I cannot get my Chipotle open, so I will be literally right back. Okay, so I got my Chipotle open. So now I'm just gonna add one teaspoon of Chipotle sauce to that. You don't want too much Chipotle sauce because then it's gonna not look the way I want it, and I'm looking for a particular thing. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna stir this like so. Now this is what I was kind of looking for. Not too much Chipotle to overpower it, but just enough to give it, you know, that nice creamy consistency. And now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add my lobster pieces to that. And we're gonna toss it nice and gently. We're gonna fold that baby up. Ooh. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna stuff our rolls, okay? And I'm gonna do both of them and plate them at the same time. Now this is pretty. Oh my goodness. Yum. Okay, guys. So look at my lobster rolls. So my phone died just in the middle of putting my mayo on this roll in the middle. That roll has the one with the mayo. I put extra mayo on the buns because of course it's going to be delicious. Look at these guys. Ah! I'm officially ready for summer. Guys, you could put these with some nice fries. I was gonna make fries, but I didn't really have time. Plus my phone died in the middle of recording, so I couldn't do that. However, isn't that pretty? I mean, it is delish just as it is pretty. You know what I say, guys? The food here don't just look good, but it tastes amazing too. Don't believe me? Try this recipe for yourself. Trust me, you would not be disappointed. You could do this for a picnic. You could do this for a simple lunch in the summertime, in the spring. You could do it for whatever you like. It could even be dinner. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment on my post, guys. I love the feedback. It's amazing. Keep it going. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at spicecrave_cuisine. And don't forget to comment in the description as well. Guys, thank you for following. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure.